Alright, so like we said yesterday, there would be a good opportunity with all this stuff going on here, and what we saw, the purple correlations, opportunity to open up a long position in the midst of a decline, and then the orange correlations at the end of the day at roughly the same price level, opportunity to open up a short position in the midst of a rally. So those two combined in one day at these similar price levels indicated that we would see a higher price and a notably higher price level and a notably lower price level the following day, and that's exactly what we saw, or what we see now. Also, my sense about us opening lower was correct. The reason why it was difficult is because we opened almost the same price level, really. We were like almost flat, and then we had to move much higher and to move much lower. Nice price swing there. So that would make it a little bit difficult to determine. But I was, I did correct myself yesterday and say we would open lower. We should be going significantly lower because there was like a notable drop that I sensed. I'm guessing the FOMC stuff had the impact that we expected. We hit this resistance level here, right? Midday, hit this resistance level, and then we break down with consecutively lower spikes up on the way down. That's the strife card. And we have two highs, midday highs, followed by a low shortly thereafter, right? One high, another high, low. That ruin right there is really, it's sticking out to me. And we did almost revisit that same price level. I was saying that I sensed we probably hit roughly the same price level. We came pretty close. But see, there's all this unicursal hexagram energy here, 4th, 7th, and 8th, and then we have a prominent low for the month here on the 9th-ish, 8th, 9th-ish. That really does indicate a pretty strong drop, but there's a bit of a rally here. We still have Princess of Wands energy on the 4th, right? I don't think it'll be from a higher price level though. That's my sense. But this is pretty much what I expected. I'm getting much better at determining when there's conflicting energies and it becomes convoluted. I'm getting better at determining how to read that. It's been very difficult. Generally, where my fails will be, but I'm getting much better at it. I mean, over the years, and just recently, I've noticed a significant improvement. Sometimes something just clicks, But in any case, so like it was difficult to determine where we were going to open. I was leaning to the downside as of yesterday, maybe not in the original reading, but as of yesterday, it was leaning to the downside. And yesterday's kind of conflicting trade opportunities with these purple long opportunities and these gold short opportunities, and they took place at roughly the same price level, right? We didn't really make much of a move here. It's kind of like sideways movement, which indicated that we would see a higher price level and a lower price level the following day, and you can see we did just that. We came back and we almost revisited the same price level that we had said we might revisit. We came close to it. Why is this not? See, we came pretty close. Not quite, but there's definitely a notable price higher and a notable price lower. And then as far as the day goes for today, we had opportunity here in the first thing in the morning to position oneself in both directions. Either here or here would have worked, right? Then we have our first high, our second high, do a little sideways rotation, then second high. that was kind of like squished together this period of time, but then that second highest followed abruptly by a low. So we hit this resistance level and then we break down consecutively lower spikes up. Right? That's the strife card. And you can see how they're using moving averages as resistance, and the moving averages are in bearish formation. That's very, very typical of the chart behavior of the strife card. Now, the worry card, we break down we break down to a resistance from a support level to another support level, and then we rotate sideways. And then there's in the last hour a failed attempt to break through key resistance followed by a decline through key support. Either the strife and the worry card got kind of blended here, or we're about to do the worry card, in which case we probably see this failed attempt to break through key resistance at the end of the day. But if they were kind of blend together, then I'd say that this is probably the defeat card right here. I think they were probably blended together a little bit here. And also, this second high, right, it's the disappointment card. This is a good example of the disappointment card. We came up against resistance. We came back down, kind of sort of established resistance and went back up, technically made it look like we were going to break through that resistance, right? But then we turn around and we decline through key support instead. That's the disappointment card. Technical's kind of setting it up to look like we're going to break out. Probably a lot of traders get burned there. All right, so this is probably glad to hear it, Round Earth. Glad to hear it. Definitely on our way lower as expected. Interesting. So there's a dynamic here that's pretty interesting. So first off, important to note that there's another trade opportunity here. There's no low correlator per se to the chariot card. However, the low and the trade card do correlate. We have that both here and here. I want to double check and make sure I didn't miss that. That's interesting. But in any case, sometimes that'll happen. You'll have this correlation that will help to indicate an even like another dynamic that you wouldn't have been able to extrapolate without the correlation between the two. In other words, there's no low correlation here end of day, but there's a low correlation between this trade card and the low card, indicating that there could be another low here. It looks like that's probably what's happening. And the other dynamic that's interesting is that the trade card also correlates to an opportunity to open up a short position, and it correlates to the low, indicating that we go lower, because what we're seeing is in the moments of the low, it's telling us there's still opportunity to open up a lower position. Like that can be deduced as we see a lower level. It doesn't necessarily mean we want to buy. We want to use that opportunity to open up a short position. It's more of like an indication of price of coming price level in that case. Yep, definitively. It's so frustrating to like see yourself be right and not trade, and then get in on a trade and it's like it's wrong, and then you stop trading and everything goes according to plan again. Story of my life. Up until now, anyways, it's changing. This could be the defeat card already. Like I said, these could probably be break down through a support level, meet another support level, and then do like a sideways rotation. We didn't really do sideways rotation, more like a rebound and then drop again. But this could be the defeat card's failed attempt to break through key resistance, because it's happening right at 3 o'clock. That would make this all defeat right here. Are you asking if we open lower tomorrow, or are you asking where we end the day tomorrow in relation to tomorrow's open? Let's take a look at both. This happened last time, so I didn't find a correlation. This happened on last month's reading. I didn't find a correlation to this card on the dailies anywhere. And what I mean by this happened in the last one, the Ruin card. If you look at the blue stars, I couldn't find a correlation on the timeline to the Ruin card, and you can see we were expecting a big drop here. There was no big drop. There was no correlation to the Ruin cards. First time I've seen that. I only started doing the blue stars just a little while ago, like maybe a few months ago. But this is the second time now that I'm seeing that a lack of a correlation, and that very well mean that we don't see this peak right here. There's no correlation here to the abundance card, which would be like a little peak, right? And like I said, when we hit that resistance, when we created that high already on the first Was it the first? Yeah. I said it was very possible that that was the high that we were expecting already, that we'd already reached it and that we would go lower. We came back pretty close to it, but my sense is that we don't see this peak through resistance, either that or it already happened. There's no correlation here on the timeline, no blue circles that indicate that type of energy, like overarching anywhere. All we see is this Princess of Wands, Princess of Wands, Princess of Wands. So this is all decline, right? Over the weekend, significant drop probably. So tomorrow, as far as where we open, I mean, it's a negative day. There's a definitive trade involved here on like a more than a day trade kind of scale, on like a swing trade kind of scale. This is an important day. The high's nullified. Usually a high prudence card in the high means multiple false tops, but it's nullified, which means we probably just keep dropping, is my sense. Low, low, low. Drop at the beginning of the day, drop at the end of the day. Decline card in the pre-market. And see that, so we want to cash out, and we want to cash out at a low here. Interesting. Do we want to do that? Yeah, I guess, yeah. There's a good cash out opportunity at a low here. Towards the end of the day, it looks like when we hit the bottom of a range somewhere around like the end of the day, then we have a bullish move, an opportunity to short again for over the weekend. Look at that wealth card's nullified. It's important to point out. Hey Philip, thank you. The tower and the chariot card? I don't believe so, no. Let me see here. Unless I missed it. Nope. No correlation there. Why did you ask? Did I answer your question sufficiently? Thank you, Philip. If we were to hang out here and move sideways, that would make this the worry card, in which case we probably see a little bit move higher, failed attempt to break through resistance, followed by a drop through this price level here. If we continue to do some sideways movement here, that would very much indicate that this was worry right here. Yep, no worries, my man. I always check my notes because my brain doesn't memorize things that way. I'm much more much more of like an intuitive memory, but because this is very like turning ephemeral information into like concise, like practical information, I always double check on my notes. What I've noticed recently, which is really cool, it's something that's just kind of started happening, is that when I'm going through the cards, looking for the relationships, my eyes rest on the card I'm looking for almost immediately when I look at the page. And if it doesn't, it's almost always because the card isn't there on the reading. It's really cool. It's going to cut down on the time. I just have to hone that kind of little skill there. So if you're just hopping on, guys, basically, based on what's transpired thus far for the month, I'll recap. Yesterday I said there's a good chance that this was the high, that the crest that we were looking at here on the second, and there's a good chance that that was it right there already on the first. And then we kind of have like, interesting, so this would have been like, oh, we're breaking out, we went above it just a little bit, so a new high, but instead we turn around and we fall pretty hard. And then we also just today noticed that, so last month there was a moment where there was a card on the 1 month spread that had no correlation to any cards on the 1 day spreads anywhere. It was the ruin card, and that was that drop that we were expecting that never took place. And so I see that was the first time that something like that had happened on a 1 month since I started doing these blue cross correlations. And the same thing is here. This abundance card has no cross correlations that I found, and because of that, there's a good chance that we don't see this peak that we were originally expecting when we just continue lower. But big drop over the weekend, and then we've got all this universal energy transpiring before this prominent low. A lot of price movement on the 8th. A lot of price movement on the 4th, the 7th, and the 8th. Probably even the 9th, but like there's some whipsaw action here on the 8th and the 9th. So this looks like the worry card, right? And then we should have a little bit of a rebound, maybe to here. Maybe not even. Maybe to here, or maybe to here, let's say. Go, there's that rebound. So strife, worry, and now we're going into defeat, which is a failed attempt to break through resistance. It's kind of like a one failed attempt, whereas like the disappointment card is a very similar energy to the defeat card, but it's more like the defeat card followed by a fake out that we're going to break through, like a second attempt where technicals make us think we're going to break through. That's the disappointment card. It's very similar. I was thinking about doing some live streaming during the weekends. Any like ideas on what kind of content you guys would want to see? I was thinking more like psychic development type stuff, but I don't know. lot of people asking me that question about a lot of readings. Is the November low lower than the low in October? And the reason I think I'm getting that question, guys, is because I don't know. If I knew, I would have made it. I would have specified. There's a chance. There's a chance. Problem is that the 1 year isn't my most reliable. I mean, it's been pretty solid. It's just this area here wasn't. These weren't highs. These were more crests than like a high for the year. I don't think we see lower lows in November. If we were going to see lower lows, it would be in January, or excuse me, in December, and I don't think we see lower lows in December either. Although I'm just now doing December on the monthly and the dailies. I just finished the markups for the dailies. Cool. All right. Sounds good, Philip. Thanks. Will BTC reach 14K this year? Hey, buddy. What you doing? You want to play? I'll be right with you, okay? Why don't you wait and hold off on that question until tomorrow? I want to refrain from doing like one card readings like that for like just last minute one card readings. I want to refrain from doing that unless it's under a specific moon. When I do these psychic readings, part of the reason why it takes so many hours is because of the prep work to put myself in the right state of consciousness. There's a whole process. You could call it a ritual or a magic, practice, whatever you want to call it. I call it setting intention, directing energy, creating space, but these things are necessary to like ensure the kind of accuracy that I'm seeing. Like right now and I'm a Cancer, so it's a moon in Aquarius. We wait till Wednesday, it'll be a moon in Pisces. That's a very good moon for me to be answering questions, if that makes sense. So let's hold off on that if you don't mind until tomorrow. But my sense, based on the Bitcoin reading, you're lucky, I just did the Bitcoin December reading actually, or marked it up. I didn't actually record it yet. But, let's see. I don't think we do, my friend. I think it's pretty bullish from here for Bitcoin. I mean, there's some volatility early in November, but we're bullish at the end of the year. And there's got to be a really big move coming to the upside. Maybe it's in early January. I have to look at the 1 year, but there's got to be a really big move to the upside coming just based on this theme card. But yeah, my sense is that we probably do not see 14K. Let's answer that question tomorrow. Ask me that question tomorrow under a different mood. Yeah, there you go. So kind of like a weak attempt to break through resistance and then a decline. And like I said, you see that there's only one, like it's like, there's no like, and then we come back and try it again, break through, and then turn around and decline. That would be specific of the disappointment card, whereas the defeat card is specifically like one tap and then we go. Usually. Aggravating, that's that drop I was looking for. Part of the reason why we're not always right, guys, is because the nature of a fractal, it's a pattern within a pattern within a pattern, which is how I extrapolate these patterns in the stock market by looking at micro patterns and relating them to meta patterns, like the stock market's a meta pattern. So, you know, with that said, they're a pattern within a pattern, but the pattern has slight permutations, like minute permutations each pattern out, and it, you know, it creates some variation. We're using part of a map to create a pattern, or to extrapolate a pattern, but we don't have the full map. You're a good boy, Hermes, you know? Everybody loves you. What you doing? What you doing, funny guy? You're the best, you know? You're the best. Are you sleepy? Yeah, you're a sleepy guy, huh? You wanna give me kisses? Give me kisses. Thank you. You know. Thank you. You're the best. Anything else you guys want to look at? Say if we see lower lows in November than we have seen yet this year in S&P, there's probably, I'd say there's a stronger possibility of that transpiring with Bitcoin as well. So if you just hopping on, guys, yesterday we talked about how these purple correlations here on the timeline, all this area here, opportunities in the midst of decline open up long positions. However, these gold correlations here at the beginning of the day and then at the end of the day also indicate opportunities open up short positions. And you can see we didn't make much difference in ground, indicating that to me that we would see a higher and a lower price level within close time frame. And you can see a significantly higher price level here. Actually, let me do it like this. Freaking E-Trade, man. Right, so we have this high here, and then a notable low. And I also was indicating that we'd want to be, if we had calls, we definitely want to hold puts. You remember me saying that. If we hold, I'd want to make sure I was holding puts. That was what I said. If I was going to hold calls, I'd definitely hold puts. And you can see that's exactly why. That's the energy that I was sensing. Hard to determine exactly where that drop was because we have this push to the upside first. They kind of blend each other together. But with all that said, notable drop through the halting of the bullish trend, marked by a sharp decline through key support level. Jesus, that's some drop. So with that said, we probably have a little bit of a bullish trend early in the day with a reversal right here, and then we go bearish. Reversal early in the day. Looks like some erratic behavior maybe in like the first hour and a half. Back and forth kind of stuff after a strong drop. And I'm also getting impressions to short early in the day. Yeah, to short early in the day, like first thing. It's going to be a sharp drop. So that's tomorrow, guys. Looks like early in the day. We're going to have we'll know there's a reversal when we have this move higher followed by a full retracement of that move higher back down. It'll stand out on a one-day chart. It'll be like a triangular kind of move. And that would indicate the reversal moment. And then we go down from there. And a good day to cash out of puts because the following day is pretty bullish. You can get back in puts or sell against the puts maybe is a good idea. And then buy those puts back, the short puts back around the end of the day on the 4th. All right, guys, any last questions you might have before I roll? I got some recordings to get done today, and then I'll be back on tomorrow. I'm thinking about starting like a morning session as well. I do like a regular 3-ish o'clock. Thinking about doing a regular like 9:30-ish o'clock. Not trading in the morning's kind of weird. I don't like having nothing that needs to immediately be done in the morning. It's like, it's weird to me. So I'm thinking I'll do like an early morning session. So look out for that, guys. I might start that depending on if construction continues to allow me to do that, because they're still constructing. Anyhow, I'm gonna grab something to drink. Give you guys a minute to ask some questions, and then I'll roll after that. Yeah, I mean, that was the original plan. I only started doing end of day stuff because, for whatever reason, the construction like would stop making noise. Oh, because they were working like 20 minutes earlier than they were supposed to start in the morning, and I complained to the building department because they just don't care. And ever since then, they've like made like a extreme effort because they feel like they weren't in the wrong. They think I just made it up or something. So now they like spend an extra hour not making noise on either end. So I was able to do like a 3 o'clock thing. Now it seems like they've pretty much chilled out, or like they're working for the most part at like the other end of the building, so the noise isn't really disruptive, and I can get back to mornings. Alright guys, I'm gonna roll. Thanks for watching. As always, make sure you follow that rule of karma. My friend's channel needs your support. The world needs your support. Your own soul needs support too. Just make sure you spend that money on things out of love. The universe is gonna send it back to you tenfold in all directions.